It's like hitting a brick wall. You know, you take 9 months to plan a pregnancy, and you have a baby shower, and you set up the nursery, and you've got it all set in your mind of how this is going to be. And then one day after another, after another, after another, we've got one doctor after another just up in arms.
You want to believe that somebody's lying to you. You know, you want to believe that somebody made a mistake. You forge ahead, but there's a certain amount of desperation there. You want it to change. You want somebody, like I say, you want somebody to be wrong. But you step up, you're a parent.
Children don't ask to be born into this world with developmental delays or with disabilities. People don't. So it's important that they have that information at their fingertips, because it can be very overwhelming for families.
So they did a chromosome analysis, and it took probably a good 10 days to get the results back. And I think what was really difficult is they had told us, the pediatrician says she has a piece of 2 on 9. Well, what does that mean? What does that mean? And of course, what do we do this day and age? We jump on the internet, right? And there was nothing. There was nothing. I couldn't find any information about chromosome 2, chromosome 9, what could this mean? And I asked her doctor says, I don't know.
I think that was the most frustrating part, was there was really no answers. Here's what's going on. They feed you this information, and then you ask them, well, what can we expect? And you get a lot of shrugging of the shoulders. We don't know. And you can't really blame them. They don't know. I appreciate their honesty. However, we don't know either. And it leaves you in the lurch. It leaves a lot of frustration in the wake. It really does.
Our pediatrician referred us to the Resource Exchange immediately when she was diagnosed with this odd karyotype. A karyotype is the numbers and letters they set out based on your different genetics. And she says, well, I'm going to go ahead and refer you to the Resource Exchange for early intervention.
The earlier that we can see a child with developmental delays, the better. Our hopes are that we can get children to meet their developmental milestones sometime within those first 3 years. We help the families determine goals, we help the families establish plans, and then we set them up with different services.
And then all of a sudden, you have a place like the Resource Exchange step up and tell you, well, here's where we go from here. Here's where we step up with this. Here's what we need to be focused on. It really helps. They don't just help the children; they help the family. They help the family quite a bit to gain focus and direction.
We also connect them to other resources such as the Colorado School for the Deaf and Blind. We connect them with agencies that provide medical alternatives, sometimes Medicaid waivers. We refer families to Social Security Administration and different resources. Some of our families need assistance with finding food resources, housing resources, and other resources that are in the community. So the possibilities are endless.
Abby doesn't have the time for me to just figure it out the hard way. By the time you figure out where to go and how to get it paid for, and then there's lots of paperwork and intake and things, that all the while the child's missing out.
The resources that are there are it's almost like the minute you have a question, they open up the big black book and say, well, you can go to them. It's just phenomenal.
I appreciate so much what's being done. I don't know where I would be without these people guiding me, because they've all seen, Catherine and Amanda and Sarah, they've all seen other children, other cases. And so they know, let's try this or let's try that, and things that have been effective with other children. And there's no way for us to have that without them.
It's one of those things that, as a parent, without the need for it, you don't know things like this are there. When it comes down and you need it, they step up in ways that you can't even imagine. And for that funding not to be there, I think we'd still be running around in circles trying to figure out what was next. It's like I say, it's invaluable.
I have very high hopes for Abby. I'm not going to set my mind on the worst and then just accept that. I want more for her. I'm going to make sure that she gets everything that she can, as much of a normal life that a child should have.
You know, every day is up and down, but you try to remember the ups. You really do. You know, you're still a father. You're still a father, and every once in a while you get those smiles and giggles out of her. You know, and just to see the strength in her every day. You know, it's enough to make any man proud.